quiet, it's starting.
The All Color Tribe Podcast presents Black Injun Ballad number 1, A Labor Alliance, an all-cast audio epic starring MF Rex, Timberline, Amy Davis, and Melissa K. Marks as King Mel, and Sam Jackson as Big Motherfucker. Oh yeah, free Leonard Pelletier already? Howdy, hi, and what's happening, y'all? This is the All Color Tribe Podcast, and I am BW Sun. Glad to have you joining us today as we are near the end of our abridged presentation of the great American tale, Black Injun, Ballad number 1, A Labor Alliance. Thanks so much for tagging along and becoming the most integral part of the team. You get a metaphorical gold sticker, or a really, really big one. Now, if this is your first time listening, I'm just going to expect that you're a big fan of starting at the end of a story and traveling backwards. You probably read the great Urdu stories left or right. You crazy turtle dumpling you. You're going to do what you're going to do, and I respect you for it. But that won't stop me from recommending that you begin with episode 1 and working your way up. For those of you who have been biting your nails since we last parted ways, you know that Aella has finally taken her first step in becoming the killer she hopes to be, killing the Lord's Lion's cult leader Milo. Outside, Black Injun and Big Motherfucker have made their way to the den's gates to save their adolescent amigo and the other filched females from Melville. We're going to begin there, right before hitting the fever pitch. Now, remember, we're willing to use all words in our story, so you might hear one or two that one person or another would call bad. Just be ready for it. We don't acknowledge the whole bad, good word thing. Tools are not inherently bound to a moral compass, so they can just be what they are. That said, let's get to the dope shit, shall we? Enjoy.
Chapter 38. Hello, the heroes are here. The gates of the lion's den close behind Black Injun and Big Motherfucker. Still, so far, camouflaged. They hop off the horses. Bernard is walking towards them after closing the gate. Still early, there's only a few people outside. Black Injun sees a couple girls. One is younger than Aella. Her face is flat and sullen. They're wearing the same thing.
Why so late, fellas? Should have been back 2 hours ago. Hold on. Who are you?
Told you they wouldn't be fooled for long.
Before Bernard can yell and raise alarm, and Big Motherfucker can smash him into oblivion for doing so, a blood-curdling scream rings through the whole of the lion's den.
Glowspoga.
I bet I know where Aella is.
Bernard is walking towards the direction of the screams, forgetting the infiltrators behind him. Black Injun raises his pistol and waves it unseen. He's offended, if he's being honest, and in remedy bats Bernard in the ear with his gun.
Hey, hold on a fucking minute. Turn around. Look, the good guys came to save the day. Shit.
Bernard turns back to the strangers in lion's clothing to look in the barrel of the pistol. It fires. Bernard feels the burn of the burst. Then a hole extends from his face, clear out the back of his head. It leaves a gaping hole behind, and with the lack of mass to hold it in place, his brain plops down into his lower jaw.
Tell me what you really think, bruh.
The few out and who've just witnessed Bernard's death are the 2 young girls in Pitter, out taking a dawn's early piss. The girls scream. Pitter looks at the brain of his murdered brother, lying not far from his body, but still too far from his body, in the dirt. Pitter grabs a nearby farm tool, a hoe, and arms himself. He starts for Black Injun. More are appearing on the street with the ruckus.
That's more like it.
Pitter rushes Black Injun, swinging the hoe wildly. Black Injun catches the farm tool and, using Pitter's momentum against himself, swings the sun round onto Big Motherfucker. The big man grabs Pitter's arms and puts a big boot into his chest. Kicking out, but still keeping arms in hand, Big Motherfucker sends the body flying backwards, but with its arms ripped out of the sockets and off its body. Pitter spends his last moments alive trying to catch his breath, wind knocked out of him, and spraying blood from his armholes. Another 2 men, and many girls, are outside to see the perishing of Pitter. They see him die not far from Bernard's body. The screams and yells from the group now promises no one is still sleeping. Out of sight, even a lion roars. Big Motherfucker looks up curiously, hearing the beasts rumble. Black Injun's eyes are steady on the people clustering up before him.
Might have to hit a girl.
feel like nobody's listening to you? And you've got all the good ideas. You've got the answers. It's time the world know how incredibly important and intelligent you are. It's time you gained an audience. Join me today and amass your own following to hang on your every word. Gain enough followers, and that means profit. You'll be making big bucks just for being you, which honestly, isn't that how it should be? Why work when there's others who could be working for you? You're absolutely right. You need to step in front of the world and let everyone know it's all about me. Me is underwritten by the human race and is not responsible for the happiness or contentness of its users.
Chapter 39, The Battle in the Lion's Den. Standing up, Aya's dress is still ugly, but now it's no longer the same as all the other girls, splattered and stained with the blood of Glosboga, Milo, and Helena. The door to the room still open, Aya can hear people coming to investigate the noise. She rushes to close the entryway. Fear starts to streak throughout her veins cold, and she's latching the locks. With effort, she pushes the table against the door for reinforcement. There's a knock, then another, and knocks turn to pounds which evolve into slams, all accompanied with a rising voice.
Glosboga, Milo!
Back outside, Black Injun and Big Motherfucker are still looking down the large, uneasy crowd with only the two dead sons to separate them. With all the girls ahead of him, upset expressions abound. Black Injun steps forward and tries to play the diplomat card.
So, we're just gonna kill these fools who kidnapped you right quick, and y'all free to go. Courtesies of the one and only man, myth, and goddamn living legend, Black Injun. And Big Motherfucker, too.
The girl Black Injun had first seen, the one younger than Aya, with the flat and sullen face, is in the front line. She steps forward. Then she takes another step and another, until she's within elbow reach of Black Injun. He smiles down at her, but it vacates his mouth quick as the little girl sticks a fork into his thigh with all her miniature muscle.
Oh, shit! She stabbed me! You little... Oh, fuck your face!
Black Injun rips the fork out and he can't resist his reflexes, a rabbit punch straight to the nose. The little girl goes down hard, lying there in a daze, nose broken and bleeding, swelling up purple. Black Injun jumps to Big Motherfucker's shoulder.
My bad, y'all. I didn't mean to do that. She stabbed me. It just kind of happened.
Everyone is looking at the girl laid out on the ground. Then they're all looking at Pitter. Then they're looking at Bernard and back to the little girl. They raise their heads and are looking at the two strangers in lion's clothing. And so the battle in the lion's den begins and becomes chaos. Some girls fight for the Lord's cause, be it because they've been there long enough to truly believe, or because they don't want to be on the wrong side should their husbands and sisters kill these only two men. Others do so, taking this as their chance for freedom. Girls begin fighting girls, while some others still just take to hiding or just using this as a time to try and flee. The gate is opening. Black Injun and Big Motherfucker try to get through the crowd of little ladies, avoiding them best they can. A girl with long blonde curls leaps onto Big Motherfucker, digging her nails into him and biting. He tosses her to the side, and a couple of her sisters topple, breaking her fall. Another swings an axe down in front of him, barely missing his foot. Thankfully, that girl's tackled by opposing, civil-warring siblings. Black Injun trudges forward, livid.
What the fuck? I'm about to kill one of these little bitches. I ain't signed up for this shit.
He gets poked in the eye. Lashing out, Black Injun swings his arms in big circles without target, trying to clear a path for himself. Aya's back inside. She can hear the exterior ruckus, but it's the drubbing of the door that has her focus.
Glosboga, Milo, are you all right? Please, Lord, answer!
A loud hammering of metal to metal and the doorknob drops. Aya can see an eye bouncing round the hole where the knob had been. She pulls the small piece of antler from Helena.
Glosboga, Milo!
The eye hasn't seen her. Aya springs forward and jams the antler through the knob hole into Stefan's eye. He riles backward, screaming.
You fat little whore! You're gonna fucking die!
Aya's busy looking for any way out of the room other than the door, while Black Injun has met up with one of the sons, Philip, flaunting two meat cleavers. Black Injun holsters his pistol and raises his tomahawk with a smirk.
We're simple folk living in peace. Why would you do this?
No, you're a fucking creep who steals little girls like the Bugger Man. And if deserving ain't enough, I'm doing this because it's gonna be a hell of a story to tell.
Philip swings and swings again, but both miss. Black Injun steps back to dodge each blow, and when Philip swings high, hoping for a headshot, Black Injun goes low, and his tomahawk oscillates straight through Philip's leg, clean dismembering just below the knee. Losing his footing, Philip takes a dive. A meat cleaver comes loose and tragically lands edge down on several of Philip's fingers. He's all agony and blood on the ground. Black Injun steps over him, spitting down while doing so.
Never bring you to a meat fight!
Not far from the dying Philip, a rock cracks against Edward's temple, dropping him down to a knee. A girl, surely one of his loving wives, is already on the ground, thumped up good by stones. Sisters circle him and hurl rocks until he's a moaning, mushy mound, still alive, left to die broken and brain damage shortly thereafter. Big motherfucker pulls one girl off another who's clearly beat and done for the day. A hot shrill forces his eyes upward and down the road to see a little girl's body tousled around like a bleeding rag doll amidst golden fur. Another girl is batted through the air, revealing a second snarling beast, the male lion, who lets out a raging roar. Black Injun sees the same thing.
What kind of dogs are those?
One of the girls screams lions, and Black Injun nods his head, corrected.
That makes more sense.
The lions stalk down the road, making their way for the would-be heroes. A girl runs through the line of sight, hoping to escape. It's a bad life decision. She's pounced upon by the male. The lioness gives Biggins a hiss before swiping at him. A claw catches his belly. Just a nick, but the sting irritates. He bashes it in the face with his mallet. Lions prove to be much more resilient than men. She takes a piece of his arm.
I'm gonna kill you, you stupid little slut!
Inside the late Glosboga Milo's quarters, the door begins to give way. Aya's blockade isn't going to hold, and she's not found any other way out. She takes a deep breath, looks around for anything she could use. Not sure how she's missed it this whole time, but there's a samurai sword sheathed and hanging from the wall. Sliding it out of its casing, Aya takes a couple practice swings and gets ready for her last stand. The male lion roars outside, and he and his counterpart have nearly cleared the streets, but neither Black Injun or Big Motherfucker are eager to thank them for it. The fight between the lioness and Biggins continues, both finding the other a substantial opponent. Blow for blow, Big Motherfucker is wearing more blood, but he's still in the fight until stepping back and tripping over a body. The lioness is on top of him, pinning him down. Claws carve 3 deep red lines across the big man's face. It's the last straw for Biggins. He's over the inflated feline, grabs her jaw, teeth digging through his palms. He pulls and pulls. The lioness is trying to retreat, batting at the big man for escape. Her jaws crack and break apart. A gun fires. The bullet buries in the lioness's head, and her 300-some pounds of dead weight come heaving back down on the near 400-some pounds of Big Motherfucker. He lets his head drop back to the ground, using the moment to get a quick breather. He looks over, seeing things upside down. Black Injun is holding his pistol not far away.
Come on! You're always playing with pussy when there's important shit to be done.
But it'll be a minute. The male lion snags Black Injun's arm within its fangs. In all that's going on, Susanna finds herself near the strangers fighting the big cats. She looks down at Big Motherfucker, still under the lioness.
You're here for Aya?
Biggins nods a positive. Susanna tries to push the lioness off him. He makes it easy for her and just slides it to the side. He does use her as a crutch to get back up on his feet, though.
She's probably in that building.
Susanna points over to the moot, not far ahead. Biggins looks at the iron-studded paddle Susanna has in her hand.
Little help!
Looking over to Black Injun, still in the jaws of the Jungle King, sliding around the ground. The lion has Black Injun by the bicep, and it's making it really hard for him to do much in the way of getting free. He loses both his tomahawk and pistol and must resort to simply trying to punch the apex predator into submission. Big Motherfucker looks back to Susanna, but she's gone. Off to handle her own business, he supposes.
Piece of shit!
The heavy paw presses hard on his head, crushing it against the ground underneath.
King of the jungle, my ass! You ain't no king of no motherfucking thing! Fuck you!
The pressure on his skull is insufferable. Black Injun's eyes are bloodshot, retinal veins bursting and bulging from his head.
Oh, you a real bitch for this! But you know what they say!
The lion is plucked up off Black Injun and lifted high into the air by Big Motherfucker, who brings the big cat crashing down across his big knee. The maned menace's spine splinters and shatters upon impact. Black Injun is back on his feet, grabbing for his gun. He plugs the lion more times than need be to make sure it stays dead.
Big motherfucker beats lion, cocksucker!
Both men breathe in and out heavy and hard. Becoming legendary is exhausting.
I hope we just killed the last 2 of those fucking things. Like in the whole world, bruh. I hope they're all dead. Fuck lions.
He receives an exaggerated nod as Biggins concurs.
Let's go get this girl, bruh.
Becoming legendary is exhausting. Gee whiz. Things aren't looking great for Aella, but they could be worse, and it seems like help's on the way. Hopefully Black Injun and Biggins can get to her in time. And where did Susanna go with that paddle? Guess we'll have to show up for the next and final episode of the All Color Tribe podcasts. A bridge presentation of the Great American Tale, Black Injun Ballad No. 1 of Labor Alliance. If you'd like to hear the full version of this epic earful, head on over to the All Color Tribe website and you can pick it up for just $6. 20 more minutes of story, so pretty much it's a whole extra episode, and a sneak peek into Black Injun Ballad No. 2, the Dead President's Initiative. That $6 goes directly into us making Ballad No. 2, so we'd love the support, as we really want to keep this thing going. Hopefully you're about it as well. You're not going to find us on Facebook, but we are on the gram, at All Color Tribe, as well as Twitter with the same handle. If you'd like to get a hold of us, we can be reached through email, which is howdy@allcolortribe.com. HOWDY@allcolortribe.com. We promise to read and reply in as timely a manner as we can, which is easy since right now our inbox is pretty empty. Alright, well hopefully you enjoyed yourself thus far and this isn't being used as a torture device in the future. Look forward to meeting up with you next time for the grand finale of this whole shebang-a-bang. Peace, love, and y'all be safe out there. Now, as far as I can figure, only way we get better people is by being better to them children who grow up to be the people. So let's put an end to child abuse in its many forms. If you need help doing so, please contact any of the following ASAP. Child Help National Child Abuse Hotline, 1-800-422-4453. National Center for Missing and Exploited Children Tip Line, 1-800-843-5678. RAIN's National Sexual Abuse Hotline, 1-800-656-4673. Our future is on us from here on out, folks. If we let them ruin what's left, then we can only blame ourselves for the failing. All Color Tribe, Futuro Amplificande Studium.